The order. I don't know if I hit that when I started.
I did.
Feel like I should.
I did my cheaters.
kinda
Commissioner
what
Staker,
Here.
Commissioner Seidel, absent. Commissioner Miller,
Here.
Commissioner Noe,
Yes.
good. Commissioner
That's the way
Klein,
it was.
Kind of.
absent. Commissioner
Half
Freoff,
here, half outside.
Waller.
Here.
Okay.
All right. Everybody get a chance to look at the minutes?
I
Any,
read them online, yeah.
any corrections or changes or anything?
Last
you
meeting
wanna-
was February.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't have a list.
Yep. Someone want to make a motion to approve them unless you want to make changes?
I had motion to approve.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right. Move it open forum. Melissa, we'll go right to you.
Yep. There we go.
Excuse me.
Oh, what are we doing? Okay, Park Space of Peterson Valley. First thing is the council agreed upon a name on Monday night. They went with, Cubby Park. I'd have to see what the tagline is. Memorial Park to Mark Worrell or something like that. So it'll officially be called Cubby Park and then Mark Worrell Memorial.
Awesome.
Which sounds much better than what they had written.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so there's that. So I've also put it in front of you two different things, and I can explain. So the first one is the what Fairgram was going off of and had approval. The practice field, or the smaller field, was 160 down the line, maybe 170 down the line, and I don't know, 180 down center field. And it was turned like this. They had done that so that it could all fit in. I think Nate has talked about doing, it's like a jigsaw puzzle to try and get it all to fit in. After the council feedback and the first planning and zoning feedback, they really wanted to see if Nate could switch that field so it would be like the other ones, so that it would line up, home plate would line up with in the center, and then it could be a little larger. So Nate is able to do that, and that would be the second option. With this option, I think I'd have to look, it's looking at 185 down the line and 210 in the center, which is the size of the varsity girls diamond. So we would have big fields. However, doing that, the blue line is where parking is going to be eliminated. So he's taking out about 30 spaces. So I believe originally there was 167, so we're looking at about 137 for parking spaces. So since that time, I took that to council. If this is the route that council had wanted to go, it is a change of direction from where Nate was originally given. He was given the go-ahead on this. So there is re-engineering fees involved, and council would agree that they would like to see that option of a contract of not to exceed $6,000 for re-engineering fees not fix the field. The field was fine before, but to enlarge it and flip it like that. Budget-wise, we're still doing good for budget, so there's not really a concern there. So council went with that direction. They've given me direction to get that contract done and make a larger field.
Yeah, I definitely like that better.
Okay, so having said that though, then it went to planning and zoning on Tuesday. And planning and zoning, which would be what the next item is on the agenda, will approve this contingent upon how Park and Rec Commission feels. So that's why I changed the agenda to make it a move to action tonight. Does that all make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yep.
Okay. So that is on Peterson Valley. I also have here, because we didn't talk about it last year, last month, the restrooms, the design there. Still lots of tweaking room, but if we can keep it about this size, that would be great. Council had wanted, we had talked about individual family restrooms. Council had indicated that they would like a male restroom, a female restroom, and a unisex restroom. And they did not want 6 restrooms, they wanted 4 or 5. So that is what they have drawn up for us.
Oh, there we go. Ask and you shall receive.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
How much did that cut cost by very much or not really?
What was it, like 20,000 a restroom, so it cut 20,000 out.
Yeah.
Planning and zoning did have some concerns. They felt that we needed more restrooms. It's okay, it is what it is. And this can always be tweaked down to when we get further into the budget process, because the concession stand will be in phase 2. The first
Sure.
phase that we're putting out now is the grading.
Out of curiosity, there's no urinals in the men's bathroom?
Yeah, there's, I think,
I think
opposite
there-
of the baby
Is that what those
changing
2 little
station.
bumps are?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay,
I believe that other thing's a baby changing station.
okay, that's okay.
I think, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. That'd be my guess too.
So this is just, I mean, this is all
I know
stuff
this is
that,
right, yep, I
yeah.
know, that's fine.
figure out, does anybody have any,
Those are hand
So what's the argument for more versus
for more restrooms?
versus less? Based off of yeah.
If you have a
Just
tournament and you have a lot of people in attendance, there will be
Big
a line.
lines.
Right.
I just wonder how you come up with
There is
an
a,
answer, like a formula for.
there is a formula based in,
What's
I
the-
don't have the formula.
What's the garage space based on?
That is based off of the needs that we need, lawnmower in there, equipment, storage.
So there's a dedicated lawnmower for the fields there?
For the, you'll need for the drag.
This is again, a phase away.
Yes. Yep.
So is there anything we need to do with this, or is this
No.
just more information?
Just information.
If we have another year, we can argue about this.
Yes. Well, yes and no, because the general size is the footprint they're using when they lay out the ball fields. So
Right.
you can argue all you want about different items, but
Way out, but it's gotta stay in the
That's a footprint.
footprint.
yep. And that, the pantry, that area that they've labeled as a pantry, that could be converted to a restroom if we needed it.
Is it the middle grading spot?
It's the pinkish
Bit pinkish.
Oh, okay, I see it.
by the concession.
Yep.
Move the dumpster so it'll be by the parking lot. You can't see that, but that way they'll,
What's between the men's and the women's bathroom there?
electrical, mechanical.
Mechanical closet.
Gotcha.
Cool. Good
Okay.
stuff.
Okay. So that's the update on Peterson Valley. Then when we get to it, the next item is going to be the approval for this alternate phase. The blue lines, eliminating some parking. We talked about it. If you need overflow parking, while I hate to say this, you can always use the grass. You can do overflow parking on the grass for a tournament. I think my personal opinion, is having a larger field and in this layout is a better.
And I love that home plates are right around the concession stand too.
Yeah, that is
That makes
nice.
sense.
Yeah,
Rather than-
that's nice.
That
Right.
that other field having to go. Basic.
Again, I missed the last meeting, but nothing's being done to the east of the gas line.
Just
Just
grading.
leveled,
Yeah, just grading.
just leveled field and stuff. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. So, at least I think so.
Okay.
All right. Want to move on to the next?
Oh, you have, you want to do,
To approve it.
Oh,
So we're on B here, approve the,
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion to?
well, let's go, could we go over it one more time?
Yes.
So what are we moving to? What are we,
From this one
from this one to
to
this
that
one?
one.
And this just rotating the home
No
base.
home base, yeah, and you're just losing a little bit of parking.
Making a bigger field.
30 spots.
Right, so I move to accept the alternative.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? So moved. And then we don't need to do anything with the restrooms. Yep. All right. So recreation activities update, Melissa.
Okay. We've gotten most of the registrations for Summer League. Kindergarten is still trickling in, and preschool registration hasn't closed yet, so that's still coming in. Most teams are looking pretty good. The girls' first and second grade team is short on coaches. So we're working on that. Currently we have enough girls to have four teams, which
That's
is
good.
great. We have only 2 head coaches, and I'm going to use one of our interns for a 3rd head coach.
Is there anybody that just needs asked?
Oh, I've done it.
You've done it? Okay. I was just curious. Because sometimes
I
people don't want to do it, but then they're asked and they're like, all right, I'll do it.
no, I have done it. I have,
Because it's such a easy thing to do at that level.
yes.
I'll help. Does anybody just need a help? I mean, like an assistant? I mean, I don't want to coach, but I would gladly help.
Well, I have 2 assistants
Okay, all
that
right.
I've for the teams. Neither one of them wants to head coach.
I don't want to either, but I would
So
gladly, I wouldn't mind helping.
So I'm going to put out another desperate plea, and then I will either,
So there's no league parents that,
not yet, I'm still hopeful. So I'll either look at the teams, and I really, 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 really hate to take that 4th team and put them and divide them up, because 3 teams, first and second grade,
How often?
it's 6 weeks. 6 weeks. And then a practice. I mean, it's gonna be fine. But if I have to put that team and do 3, first and second grade, they do not have the attention span to do a double header back to back.
Yeah.
That's just a bad situation. So I do have, and we'll talk about it later, I do have two interns that got approved. So one of them, I could definitely have coach. And then I have, we'll talk about this later, I have another lead. It would be more of a paid coach, a high schooler that'll come and do it. And that
Good. That's all
might be
right
an
then.
option.
for what grade?
First and second.
We have to pay a coach for second grade softball.
And it's something I could do maybe too, but Thursdays are tough for me between meetings. It's tough. So
Is that what night their games are?
yeah,
I mean, the rules with that is still just,
it's coach pitch, so
they hit the ball, they run the base, there's no stealing.
Nope.
It's just,
There's no silver cord kids,
That's what I was
diehards that
saying.
could do
it's
it or
just
something, or?
so basic.
I put it
It's
out to
very
the high school.
beginnings.
I was still really hopeful that a parent would step up. I was just very, very, very hopeful, but it's not looking good. And I have targeted like some of the people that I know have coached before, and they just can't do it this season. So
If I wasn't already.
I don't know. So I'll put it out for
Hmm.
silver cord
Yeah, that's a good
or
idea.
for something. But I don't want to take that 4th team and.
You don't want to start paying them too, because then that kind of sets precedent.
Well, technically we are with an intern. It's a
Yeah.
paid, I mean,
Sort of.
Sort of.
I mean, they're not hired just to coach.
right,
That's part of their job.
I mean, because that's how many kids are signed up then if you have 4 teams roughly.
well, they're small teams, so there's 7 on a team.
So 28 families, you think you'd be able to find 4 people out of 28 families to mom or dad?
Yeah.
So
I know it's not easy, but time-wise, but
I'm still hopeful.
you assume they're gonna be there anyway, watching them.
But
It's really not that big of a deal. I
No.
mean, at
I
this
think
level,
people are nervous because they think they have to have a lot of knowledge about, and it's really, at this level, it's just,
No,
they just
you're there.
move them along, and they just
Yep.
wanna hit the ball and run, and it's just so,
yeah,
You're in the first, not third.
yeah, you just teach them, just,
Yep.
you don't have to know a lot of stuff. Just- And like you said, if you put 3 teams and you have kids standing around, and it's boring, like you need to keep
Yeah,
them
they
engaged at that level.
Yep. So I'm still working on it.
Okay.
Who are the coaches you have so far?
I have, the Yagis are doing a assistant and they're taking the head and the assistant and, hold on, I could tell you.
Andy?
No, she's 3rd and 4th.
Oh,
Who's doing my other team? I have Brian Driscoll is coaching and Mark Burnett. They're coaching the other team.
And then we need the high school softball girls
yeah.
and get them some silver cord.
The other games.
I was
So
gonna
they
say
probably
they
have
can't do it
games.
because that's when they play.
Yep. So it's
When are
hard.
the games?
Thursdays. And it's good to keep them consistent. I'll keep, I haven't quite given up yet, but I can't do a t-shirt order or anything like that until I have coaches.
When does
secured.
it start?
May 25th would be their first game. So plenty of time still. Okay, so that's on that. Other than that, registrations are maybe a little lower than last year, but not much. I think last year we probably had around 150, and this year I'm at 141. So that's not bad, and the kindergarten class is really small.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not good. That's not bad. I'm pleased with that. What else do we have? Day camp. I have everything all lined up. I'm just waiting on one confirmation from Iowa Gymnast in regards to a time that we're going to go there, and then I'll be able to release everything. So that'll be good. I'm debating about doing a different program this year. The past couple of years, we've done 100 days of summer, 100 activities that kids could do, and but I'm going to change that up a little bit, and I might advertise it by seeing if I could go into the schools and talk with the classrooms. But I'm going to do a passport to summer, and everybody would get a fun little passport book, and we'll put a couple of different activities on here, and every time they get it stamped, then once a month we do an ice cream party, and at the end of the year, if they have so many stamps, then they get a t-shirt or draw from the bucket or something like that. Gonna give it a shot.
That's cute.
Fun.
So that's all I have for updates on programs.
Easter egg hunt went good.
Yeah.
It's smooth, didn't have to cancel it.
Yeah, I know. So
It
far,
wasn't bad.
every year, I'm worried about it, and every year it's been fine.
Does anybody do a head count, like it's a guesstimate of how many? It's a ton.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So I did ask, wouldn't be next year, but the following year, so in 2019, Nate Cass, if the fields he thought would be good and ready to go, and then we could do our Easter egg hunt and kind of an opening of the park during that event.
Oh,
That's a cool idea.
I thought that would, he's like, that would be perfect. He's like, it should be good to go.
That'll be the year it rains.
Yes, it will. Thank you.
Gets canceled. Everybody to the gym.
But I thought that would be a really nice grand opening. For
Yeah, that'd be great. That's a great
park
idea.
and the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
We'll have parking.
Nothing we need to change. It's all
Yeah,
good.
I think it's good.
Okay, good.
Good.
All right. Summer employees.
Okay. So we have 2 interns that were approved by council on Monday night. I'm very excited about them. We have Kevin Clark and let me give me a second to think
Are they
about
high school kids or
No,
college
they're
kids? Or?
University of Iowa students,
Cool.
majoring in sports rec.
Oh, great.
So Kevin has, why can I not think of her name? I'm gonna look. Kevin has worked for different conservationists. He's manages the track and field for Iowa, one of the managers for that. He's worked camps and programs, and he's got a lot of experience. And then, hold on, I gotta figure out her name. It's not Miranda, but that's what keeps coming to my mind. Hold on. Shoot. Anyway, the other one, she's also worked for she's from a small town, worked for conservation department, and their park and rec department, has coached, has umpired, run programs. She manages the Iowa women's basketball team. So a lot of experience there, and a lot of just really positive kind of go-getters. So that's nice. We're still looking for a couple of other part-time help just for summer camps and kind of fill in. So that's, okay, it's killing me that I can't remember her name right now. Let's see what else. Umpires. So we have umpires lined up for the first time in history. I have enough umpires, which is awesome. I'm doing a meeting next week to kind of go over the schedules, the field schedules, and see who's working which game, and a backup program for that. There is a small problem. It's not a small problem, but it is. We have always just paid our umpires as independent contract employees. So they, $25 a game, that's what they get. Iowa laws have changed a little bit, so we may need to add them to the payroll instead. Because if they were part of, like, if we hired from like the association, if they were part of a business, then we could still consider them the independent contractors. But since they are not affiliated with a business,
Yeah, but any individual can just go and do stuff for a 1099.
and that's how we've always done it.
Yeah.
But Gordon called the Iowa Labor Force, and they said, no, you need to have them as employees on payroll. And then currently the advice of our lawyer is also to put them on payroll. So that's okay, but where it then goes into more issues is like in the fall when we have flag football. So for umpiring, we're having different people come in from different towns, and it's a little more structured. You know, we have to have them here. It's
Right, but there's no contract, right?
no, there's no
I
contract.
mean, they can just not show up.
They could. We haven't had that issue.
We have no recourse if they don't show up. There's
We
no
don't pay 'em.
contract. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't get paid. But I have never had that issue. I can tell you years that has had that issue, but I have never had that issue. They've all been very, very good, or they'll, call me the night before or something like that, and I'll find a replacement. They've all been great. For flag football, we do it a little different. I still get kids to do it. It's 3rd and 4th grade. It's all here in town. But a lot of times what happens is I usually have one high school kid in charge of it, and he lines them all up for me. If somebody can't make it, then they always find a replacement. You know what I mean? So I might have these 4, and if they're on,
You have a sub that's not,
it's going to be difficult for me.
because even when somebody just does it one time, you have to put them on this payroll, even though you're.
And so we're trying to work out all those details, because then how we do payroll when we hire employees, we get them all approved by council. So if I have that last minute sub that shows up on Sunday at 3:30, I'm not going to necessarily get them approved by council.
This is for hunting.
Yeah.
I used to get that.
How other towns do it is how we've done it. I mean, bigger towns they'll use from the association and pull that way. But this is how we do it. So we're getting clarification on that.
That's too bad.
It is. I don't see a problem right now with it.
What age group is it?
We have high schoolers. So this year I have Brandon, Rumelhart, Cooper, Koenig, no, Tatum.
Oh,
Tatum.
Tatum.
Cooper, Kabbalah, Riley Vaughn. Those four, and Paige Miller.
Oh, good.
Are doing the softball and baseball?
Umpiring. So they're all good. I mean, they've all been
Sure,
around
yeah.
it. They've all.
Riley's doing, that's cool.
Yeah.
Riley's convinced.
Yeah. So well,
Good.
that's good. But, Cassie will. Okay, so that's for our umpires. We're working it all out. It doesn't really. It might be a bookkeeping issue here. I think Nick's working on something to put before council on Monday next month to get that done. In regards to summer employment too, Cassie will be back also. She's worked with us for the past couple of years,
Good.
and she'll fill in and help out as necessary. She won't be able to do the August day camp because she'll be back at school. But, yeah,
Good.
we're doing pretty good for hires. If you know of anybody that wants to work a couple day camp weeks, solid. Might see if like Allison Simpson will come back. She did a good job.
They need to be 18, prefer.
I prefer 18, but we could do younger. I've got a couple of kids that are coming in for silver cord hours for day camps, which is great.
Are your interns helping with that, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So your interns are here the whole summer?
Yes. Yep.
Nice.
And they have, I'd have to see what their requirements are. I can't remember how many hours they need to complete to get credit for that.
When do they start?
May 15th. So I'm going to bring them in May 15th. We're going to do some training and kind of do the schedules to make sure everything's all covered. And how we're doing it with our interns is for contact hours, for hours that they're with patrons or with kids or programs or things like that. Those are their paid hours. They have requirements for school, or if they're sitting in the office and they're not, if they're working on something else, those are unpaid hours. And they're fully aware of that and all on board.
Good.
Anything else on that?
I don't have anything.
Number 6, any comments?
I have a comment. I apologize, I thought the meeting was 7 o'clock.
I was gonna ask if you wanted to move to adjourn.
I feel terrible.
Nicole Mulford.
Nicole Mulford.
Nicole.
So basically, we made a motion to approve. There was a change in the field from this one to the one with the blue writing on it. They were able to turn that field. They could make it bigger. They could put home plate by concession stand, and we lose, what was it, 30 parking spaces maybe? But that was really the only change. And then there's a drawing of the concessions revised that is down the road, but just something to food for thought. Yeah, council. And other than that,
Did you have anything else? What's the latest on the other parks, the soccer fields? What else going on with those?
They need to complete them.
I know there's landscaping, are the bathrooms functional
They are not yet. They're not.
at the soccer fields? Okay.
There's still, I can't remember what it is. The plumbers need to get in and put one more piece on, and before we can open them, everything has to be completed. Right now, All American is working on the sidewalk and the Main Street project, so hopefully when they get done with that, they'll be able to head our way. Rob Decker met last week with the contractor from All American to go over the list of items that still needed to be done. And
So it's just a little plumbing and then landscaping?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We're not moving the field or anything?
No, not at this time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, field looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I know it might need some crowning or something, but.
Right. Yeah,
Anything, what about the other parks? Are they nothing's going on with those at this time?
Veronic's all done with the lighting, and then Wapsie is done. We need to put a couple of benches still around. And the high school is making picnic tables for us to put out at the
At Wapsie?
at Wapsie, and then probably a couple at Lions at Veronic Park too.
Did anything ever go forward with the parking at Veronic?
It's just on hold.
So, okay. What was the parking?
Resurface the park, to redo the parking lot.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that needs to be done, but the way it was kind of left is, let's see how these other projects, when the park project is finished, and if there's extra monies there, then possibly it could be built into Veronic Park parking lot.
And it was more of a city street thing too, going into it,
Okay.
more than us as the park.
We do use Bethany Lutheran for overflow parking during sand volleyball. So we have an agreement with them now in place that when the guys do the street sweeper, they'll go through it maybe 3 times a year and kind of sweep out their parking lot, just as a good faith. Okay.
Thursday, May 18th is the next meeting. Any conflicts? I think the interns would want to show up and introduce themselves since
Yeah.
they start the 15th.
Absolutely. Nicole Mulford is the girl. Yeah, I will have them here. Unless one of them is coaching for me.
Yeah, that's true. All right, somebody want to move to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. We're adjourned.
Great.